Oh. Oh.
Oh, get off me!
Oh.
Get off me!
Why he look like he running slow? Am I tripping?
Come on, man.
He been hooping. I said hooping. He been balling all game.
On my soul, he been balling.
What's up, YouTube? It's your guy NextGenNero back with another review, man. Trying to keep at it consistently with the work ethic. Today, man, we got to talk about college football 26 review, man. I had to take my time with this because I really wanted to play the game, enjoy the game. Honestly, I was trying to go for the platinum. Shout out to my homie Gritty. He got it recently, man, but it's just so many games on my plate right now. I stopped chasing that and I just started chasing the fun and just playing the game for what it is, man. So I'm a football junkie, man. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Shout out to my UB Bulls on the college side. I'm a Clemson fan. I'm just a fan of the sport in general, man. If I'm not watching the teams I just mentioned that I love, I'm always down to check out other games, man, especially rivalries. You know, I'm looking forward to a lot of games this year. It's a lot of dope players and freshmen I want to keep an eye on, man. But I'm not some like super huge fanatic, follow every single move and everything like that, man. But I just wanted to let it be known I love college football. I love watching the NFL. It's one of my favorite hobbies, man. Right next to gaming and podcasting and reviewing, you know, football is right there. I look forward to it every fall, every winter, man. So with that being said, man, I was happy when they made college football 25. You know, it was nice to see a college football game back out. I think they did a really well job last year with college football 25. So let's get into this review and see how much they've improved or stepped back with college 26. So let's get it. Off Ripski, man. Y'all know I got to talk about the graphics and presentation, man. That's the first thing I got to touch on. And man, I think the graphics and overall presentation of this game has improved. Actually, a really good improvement over college 25. And I already thought that presentation and gameplay, graphic wise, on and off the field, was really good to begin with. So it was really nice to see them improve damn near everything in this game. You know, everything from the fans in the crowd to the mascots. A lot of new mascots this year as well. You know, they updated the crowd, like I mentioned, new fans, new animations, new things to stay true to whatever team and stadium you're in, which I really appreciate, man. It's really cleaned up in detail, and I love that in these games because it make it very immersive, you know, for sport games to be one-to-one to what you'll see on TV or, you know, even if you go to these games. The new entrances this year alone are really nice improvements, especially the night entrances from big schools. I'm a Clemson fan, as I mentioned, so it's dope seeing them get off the bus as it is their tradition, and it should have been there last year, but it's good to have it this year. I love the addition of drones and fireworks as well. I definitely got to tip my hat to EA and college football for leading the way with making next-gen only sport games. I believe it started with college football 25 last year. Madden followed up this year. We just waiting for. I'm not a 2K fan, but it would be nice for 2K to you know, leave those last gen consoles behind and see what these new consoles can push, you know, tech-wise. Man, I just love the overall presentation, right? I love how at night the global illumination shines with the color of the stadium to match the team celebration touchdowns. So if you're playing with LSU at night, the stadium is going to have a purplish glow. If you're playing with Clemson, it's going to have an orange glow, man. And that shit is so immersive, man. And I really appreciate it, man. I still honestly think the presentation is just a slight notch above Madden. And my reasoning behind saying that is just because the consistency of the replays, whether you're offline in a dynasty or definitely online, I love seeing replays of cool plays and, you know, players celebrating and stuff. The in-between moments, man, really makes the game shine. And like I said, it makes it really immersive, man. And you know, Madden 25 did a lot to improve this year. You know, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here. I'm going to be having that Madden review in the coming days or weeks. I just like taking my time with these games and not rushing out reviews, you know, just for clicks and stuff. If you know me, then you know how I do, man. I fuck around and come with a review for a game a year later, man. But it's important if you come in with passion and honesty and not just, you know, rushing to do it just to do it. So with that being said, man, I think the presentation and graphics is a huge step up from last year, man. I really appreciate it. Every stadium feels unique and different to the said school and team that you're playing with. You know, no two teams feel alike or look alike. No two stadiums sound alike. So with that being said, man, that's enough about the presentation. Let's talk about the gameplay, man. So the gameplay this year is improved. I would say it's a little bit slowed down to bring it closer to Madden, but it still plays at a faster college football speed, in my humble opinion. The QB play this year seems to be improved. It's really nice, man. Some new animations. The running back running feels really good this year. And the O-line play, man, we got to talk about it. O-line is still kind of stupid and let you down. Sometimes it feel like, certain guards and stuff like that. And this is a problem in Madden too. It's just meant to get beat, which makes no sense, man. You can have a 71 overall D tackle or nose tackle going against a 90 overall guard. I don't got to put it in here because there's enough videos on YouTube. You can just search and look. It's no lies, pure facts. And you'll have your 90 overall tackle or guard getting beat by lower rated defensive people. So as far as the trenches, man, EA, you guys still have a lot of work to do there. You really need to figure it out. It's really frustrating that every single year the O-line seems to be, incompetent. And that's one of the most important positions on the field because it protects the most important position on the field, which is the quarterback. That being said, I will say the O-line is improved certain aspects, man. And I'm going to be honest, it's definitely better than last year Madden and last year college football in the aspect of blockers get downfield now, guys. To me, that is huge and important. I hate when you run the ball in these games or do a screen pass and the blockers just stop blocking after 2-3 yards. No, these big boys, these big men, these cornbread and corn-fed guys is getting down the field to block. And it's so satisfying, and I really appreciate that. So the same way I could point out the bad and dumbness with the O-line, I have to keep it fair and point out the positives of the O-line. Seeing these guys get downfield and light up a safety or a DB, man, is extremely fun to witness and see, man. And I had a great time, man. So defense, Madden and college football defense is, I think it really comes down to the player and what's in style at the moment. I'm really mostly a offline player. I think I should have said that to start the video. I like the Dynasty. I like, all the offline plays. My bulk of online gaming comes from playing my homies. And when I can't play my homies, every now and again, I fire up a random online match and have fun with that. Now, me, I'm usually a D lineman player because I believe football is won and lost in the trenches. So I feel like if I can disrupt your passing lanes and make your quarterback nervous or keep him on the ground, I feel like I have a great chance to, win or be successful. And I've been improving with my linebacker play as well, trying to read and learn how to do that as well. I will say, it's still animation based. It's improved, but, sometimes your star player is going to get beat by a no-star receiver. You know what it is? And I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes your guys is going to get whiffed. Sometimes your star safety is going to get blew up by those old linemen like I spoke about. So defense for me, I don't really necessarily have too many complaints. I will say I like the improvements of the DBs is just not catching picks all the time. I know that might rub some people the wrong way, but personally, I feel like it makes sense. If your DB is not looking and locating the ball, he shouldn't be able to put his hands up and catch balls that he never looked at to see what's coming his way to begin with, which has been a thing in Madden and college football for a while now, and it's very annoying. So I like the no look, no reward style play of the defensive backs. I will say they drop a little too many picks. The amount of user read picks I had lined up perfectly, and I went up to catch the ball and they just dropped them. Hit them in the chest, hit them in the hands, they dropped it. I get it, they're DBs for a reason, not receivers, but I think you have to get that mix right. But overall this year I would say it's more improved and a bit more realistic. Special teams, I'm not gonna lie, I guess because it's college football, continues to suck, man. I hate kicking field goals in this game. It is a skill issue 100%. I will acknowledge that and admit it. Kicking punts is hit or miss depending on your punter, which makes sense. The new tackle animations I think is really dope. First of all the new animations in this game is really dope. Whether it's sideline catches, back power line catches and stuff like that. And I like the passing, the revamp passing as well. You can put the ball in a bucket. You can really put the ball in the back corner pals on a back corner pylon. My bad, that's a mouthful, guys. Work with me. And the ball will get there. I love that, man. I feel like in prior years you couldn't really do that, so I definitely appreciate it. And kind of the last gameplay aspect I want to talk about is the CPU skills and AI logic. But one more thing after that too. But the CPU skills and logic has improved a lot this year. Like I said, I am a single player type of guy. So the fact that these defenders and even offensive players seem a lot more smart this year. I only play on Heisman and all Madden. But you know, if you're playing your Dynasty, you might want to knock down the user settings for the CPU a little bit, man, because having unranked schools go against a ranked Clemson defense and have the quarterback go 17 for 20 on the first passes with 3 touchdown passes is kind of unrealistic as fuck. So they definitely need to fix that, man. But overall, man, their logic is smart as hell, man. Quarterbacks are more likely to run. If the pocket is breaking down, they're not just going to sit there and let you sack them. They're going to use their feet. They're going to be elusive. They're going to be mobile. And, you know, sometimes I really had to lock in to beat some of these schools, man, and some of these games, man. So, man, last thing for sure in the gameplay section, guys, is the new plays. I just wanted to highlight that. It's thousands of new plays in this game, hundreds of them, and they are freaking dope. Running some new plays that I didn't see last year with some of the schools I played with, whether it's you know, Penn State or Clemson, like I mentioned, Virginia, any school I'm using, man, it's very fun and dope to use these new plays, man. And a lot of them has also came into Madden as well, man. So that's pretty dope, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the new plays and stuff like that. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Dynasty and offline play as a whole, because I am an offline player. Dynasty is improved, but it's not as great as I want it to be. The recruiting seems to be fine and improved just a little bit. Makes more sense. Is more competitive and trying to get players to come to your school depending on where you're located, and I really appreciate that. And I always enjoy Dynasty because, you know, it always feels more natural recruiting players out of high school versus playing Madden and trying to recruit players in the draft of unknown people, unless you import the file, and even then it's still just not as fun to me personally. I just feel like it's more fun recruiting random players out of high school. I feel like my mind, because I'm an RPG fan, I feel like I can role play a lot better with that, if that makes sense. The road to the college football playoffs is fun. The road to glory is pretty fun. You know, you get to start at high school now. I do wish it was full high school games and seasons, but it's kind of like you only come in to make, you know, splash plays. I like that you got to keep your grades up. I like all the choices that you have to make. You know, whether you want to hang out with friends or focus on, you know, school and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool mode. I didn't play too much of it because, like I said, I'm more of a Dynasty guy, and Dynasty is really lit this year, man. You know, the moments, the wear and tear is really dope. And one of my favorite features that I should have mentioned in gameplay is being able to swap players on the fly with hitting up on the D-pad and substituting them. Extremely fun, man. They make it way fun. So when you play with schools like Michigan, you can keep rotating those running backs and just, you know, run your opponents into the ground. So the Dynasty is improved, man. I really enjoyed it. I think they need to add like a podcast or, you know, a weekly recap, especially since Madden added it. You know, something like that would be nice, man. So next thing I want to talk about is online play. Like I said, I don't play a lot competitive online, but I have played a handful of games, and I have had a handful of really dope games that make me question why I'm not playing online more. I have some really good games, man. I had some people that, you know, didn't quit. A lot of people quit when they're down 20 points. I had a guy come back on me, man, and had the potential to win the game with a field goal. He missed it, and I won, and it was just like, man, I wish I could have messaged him and thanked him. I think it was on a different platform for me, so I couldn't do that. But, man, just some really great games I had, man, and playing with the homies is always fun. The reason I don't play online too much is because, for one, I'm not spending money on the game. I'd never spend money on my Madden or college football post spending the money I'd spent to get the game. I'm not doing that. Madden and 2K be taking advantage of these people every year. I'm not going to be one of them. I already feel like I'm a part of the problem by buying these games, but I'm not going to be ashamed of playing a game of a sports that I am a fanatic about. So, online play is pretty fun, man. If you play more online, let me know, because I'm pretty sure people do exploit things. That's another reason I don't play. I don't want to play with somebody that's going to spam the same cheesy play they looked up on YouTube or the same defensive set they looked up on YouTube, and I got to go, you know, learn and figure out how to counter it because, you know, some cheese. I don't like dealing with that, man. So my closing thoughts is Madden 26 is a step in the right direction. They improved a lot of things, man. Graphics is improved. Gameplay, I think, is honestly improved. I do want more better commentary. It's just certain things I want them to fix, man. O-line still needs a lot of work. Defense still needs some work. The game still needs a lot of work, man. But I got to be fair. It made a lot of improvements this year. I don't regret buying this game. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for my Madden 26 review coming soon. Catch you guys in the next one.